Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today let's go over a premium medium question that I was able to resolve on my own after about a year. So I'm really happy that I was able to come up with my own solution to this question without any help today. That's because I remember struggling with this question quite a bit, but today I guess just shows you that I've made a lot of progress, so I'm really happy about that, and let's go over it. This one's called better compression of string. Basically, each number and right after each letter is the frequency, and then you want to tally those up and then sort it in alphabetical order. So the tricky part is knowing where to stop because this number can be really big. So that was the tricky part. What I needed to handle specifically was what I did was get the index of the letters only, okay? Because anything between that, we're gonna get this index, and then we're gonna pop that index, and then we're gonna look at the next one, and anything between that is going to be a number, right? So that's the idea. And so, for example, if we have the letters index as 0, 2, 4, and 6, by the time we get to 0, we're gonna pop 0, and we're gonna have 2, 4, 6. So anything between this number, so we're gonna have 0 and 2 is going to be an integer of the current letter, right? And then when we get to 2, it's going to look like 4, 6. So 2 and 4, anything between that, and vice versa. And by the way, by the time we get to 6, we're just going to have an empty list. So just like the length of S total minus 1. Everything after that, right? So that's the idea. So let's go ahead and get all the letters and their indexes. So for I, C, and enumerate compressed. So if C dot is alpha, which means it's a letter, then we can go ahead and append that index. And the good thing is it's going to stay in order because we're going from left to right, so we don't need to sort this. Cool. So now let's go through again. And this time, let's say if I is in letters index, then we can just remove I, right? Remove I. Letters, we can remove it here. So now you can see that if we get I and letters index, we should see what I was talking about. Okay, cool. So now let's call this low, and high is letters index of 0 if letters index still has elements in it. So if it's not, then as I said, it's just going to be low is still I, high is going to be length of S or length of compressed minus 1, right? And let's print low and high just so you can see. It should match up with this. Cool. So 6 all the way to 7. Well, we're going up to not including that, so we don't have to worry about out of bounds errors near the end here. Cool. So now it makes our job easier because we're going to want a string, and let's go ahead and get a counter going. I named this C, so we can't name this C. That's fine, but basically anything between that. So let's call this substring is going to be compressed of low plus 1 to high, right? Because low itself is our current letter that we don't want to include. So now the substring should be an integer, and now we can just say D of whatever the actual letter is, because we know we're on the letter. That's the only reason we're here, and we're going to add an integer of substring. Okay, so let's print D. Cool. So now that we have our answer, we can just basically, go through and sort it. So let's call this SL, and for K and D, we're just going to append the actual key and then the frequency. But we want to sort this in alphabetical order, as it says right here. Cool. So if we print SL, this should be the result. But we have to do this again. So answer, we're going to, for S and SL, answer plus equals to S of 0, and then S of 1 for each sublist. And this is an integer, so we want a string, and then we can just return answer at the end, right? So let's run this, submit it. And there you go, passes all test cases. So again, I'm super glad that I was able to resolve this question completely on my own without any help today after about a year. So that's it for this video, and thank you for watching.